Fortnite SKYFIRE live event absolutely blew us away, no pun intended. But within the 15 minutes this event lasted, there were so many secrets that everyone missed. I mean, wait until you find out why there was a gold cube. There were also new teasers being dropped every 2 hours on top of tons of different Easter eggs and Season 8 spoilers, which I am so excited for. And so make sure to use code T5G when buying the Battle Pass to get a shout out in our video tomorrow, but let's break down exactly what's going on with Golden Kevin. This event was absolutely huge, as we all know, and there was nothing more shocking than when Kevin the Cube himself returned. And while that was jaw-dropping enough, Fortnite took things to a whole new level when we brought him back to life and he became Blevin. Our blue little friend over here, look at him. I mean, this was just, wow, Kevin is finally back. But in reality, he actually was never really that special in the first place. And that's because Fortnite revealed that there was actually thousands of cubes on the mothership. And while we were all distracted by this revelation, there was a hidden secret among the cubes. A lot of fans with a very good eye actually looked all the way to the back of the room and saw something very interesting. While all the other cubes glowed a dark and powerful purple, there was a single cube at the back that was actually bright gold. This was clearly a secret added by Epic to tease all of us that there's way more to these cubes than we ever imagined, and it blew my mind when I first spotted it. Maybe, just maybe, a little theory, this golden cube is actually going to be the rumored queen character that'll be coming to the game and playing a part in Chapter 3. Just a theory though, but with that aside, there's an even bigger threat to the island right now, and that's the huge mothership crashing down on everyone, which is why nobody's noticed the crash site secret. I think it's safe to say, after watching the end of the event, that the Fortnite island is probably not that safe right now. I mean, look at all this debris falling towards the island, and so obviously while we were expecting some POIs to change in the event, this cutscene at the end might have revealed exactly where everything will land. Keen-eyed viewers noticed that debris is heading straight for Misty Meadows, Holly Hatchery, Steamy, Stealthy, and Weeping. And this is just the debris. Imagine where the huge mothership will actually crash. And we might get that when Season 8 begins tomorrow. I mean, just last week, leakers noticed that 3 POIs were included in the files that we have never seen before. They were called the Pyramid, the Crash Site, and Cube, so we're probably gonna get cubes spread all over the Season 8 island. Most players were expecting to see Coral Castle obliterated by a part of the mothership, and while things could still change, it only looks like it was hit by a tiny little part. But hey, at least it's mostly abducted. I wonder what will replace it. But none of this compares to the Jon Jones secret. You have to admit, this event was pretty fast-paced. I mean, Dr. Sloan was rushing us through the whole thing. We're kind of panicking, not gonna lie. But because we were trying our best to follow what was going on, it would have been pretty easy to miss this weird alien board thing. And if you look closer, you can see that the aliens have actually been trying to identify none other than Jonesy. And we're not just talking Jon Jones, because we've also got the very first version of him and Bunker Jonesy. And so clearly the aliens are trying to understand the origins of Jonesy, and is likely foreshadowing that Jonesy will be making a return in Season 8, and that he'll probably start causing problems again for the Imagined Order. And while I am super excited to see the return of Jonesy, another character had a big Easter egg that could be hinting at his return as well. And of course I'm talking about Midas. If you've been playing Chapter 2 for a while, you might remember one of the most iconic Easter eggs in Fortnite. Back in Season 3, there was one Easter egg that everyone was talking about and had an entire storyline of its own. This was, of course, Midas's golden chair. It had been on an incredible journey from the Authority to an abandoned house, then a no-sweat insurance storage locker. It was all over the place. And one day, it just never showed up again. And I guess we all kind of forgot about it, but Epic didn't. While we've all been running around the mothership, nobody has noticed that Midas's chair is right here next to the Peely statue. Also, when you're in like the slipstreams things, you could find it there as well. This is just another amazing secret for the diehard fans that have been following this whole Midas stuff for a while. It is an awesome reference, but hey, maybe it's a hint at Midas's return. Or maybe not, but the secrets just don't stop with the Ghost Henchman Easter egg. Okay, so one of the most obvious secrets about the event was the return of some of Chapter 2's most iconic NPCs. While every single season has come and gone, there have been 2 people that we have never forgotten, and that's the Lonely Ghost and the Shadow Henchman. They had last been seen during the Corny Complex abduction, and we assumed they'd be perfectly safe during the event. But as we were rushing through the endless corridors of the mothership, we all actually spotted these 2 guys trapped behind the glass along with a scary amount of alien eggs. Who knows how these guys ended up here, but I would not want to be locked in a room with those things. But luckily, it's not the last we saw of these guys in the event. But we'll get to that in a second because we have some breaking news. It's all good speculating about Season 8, but when SKYFIRE ended, Fortnite dropped the first teaser of Season 8. And And here it is. We have our first look at what we'll be seeing in the next season of Fortnite. It's probably, well, like the weirdest teaser I think I've ever seen for a season, but you know, that's Fortnite for you. As you can see, there's 3 different unicorns here, and Epic Games has confirmed that this guy will be called Fabio Sparklemane. It is almost definitely going to be one of the Season 8 Battle Pass skins, and this is probably the 3 edit styles that he will arrive with. But that's just what a lot of people saw on the surface. This teaser tells us even more about Season 8 than anyone thought, because in the bottom right corner, you can see a little piece of a QR code, and it means we'll likely be getting 4 teasers that will complete to show us a secret. And while we wait for that, all we have to do is look at the guns that Fabio Sparklemane is holding. An RPG, a pulse rifle, and a railgun. So it's entirely confirmed that the Alien and IO guns will still be in Fortnite when Season 8 comes around. And that's probably going to be great news for a lot of people, and the worst news others could ever hear. So I don't know, let me know if you guys want to see them in Season 8. But wait for it, because we actually just got our second teaser of Season 8 as well. Here is yet another Battle Pass skin, and she looks like a new anime skin. But we actually know exactly what this skin is going to look like. It's based on a community concept by Kitsu, and it was actually recently leaked in a Fortnite survey. And if you look even closer in the second teaser, you could actually see someone holding up a blue umbrella. While this could just be a cool addition to her artwork or nothing serious, it could actually be a teaser at the Season 8 Victory umbrella. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But if it's even better news you want, then wait until you hear how the henchmen are actually alive. Okay, so like I said, most people noticed that the Ghost and Shadow henchmen were hiding on the mothership. It isn't exactly the most secret Easter egg of them all. But there was more to these guys that way less people noticed, because when the mothership exploded in the sky and we were all mesmerized by those beautiful cutscenes, all you had to do was look closely and you could actually see both henchmen falling from the ship as well. And that's not all, because leakers actually dug into the files and found these sound files for these guys screaming. And I'm willing to bet that whatever kind of scream you're expecting, you're going to be absolutely wrong. I mean, listen to this. These guys sound like they're barking or something. I mean, are they okay? I guess they are falling from a gigantic mothership, but hey, at least they're alive. The story of the henchmen continues. But while we struggle to follow them, wait until you see the Donald Mustard Last Reality secret. So Donald Mustard is always a huge nerd when it comes to these live events and the storyline, and that's why he has the best source of teases and information during the SKYFIRE event. And luckily, Donald has not failed to deliver this time. If you go to his Twitter, you can actually see a super interesting header that shows the 0 point in the middle of space. And this could actually be the so-called last reality that Epic has been talking about for seasons to come, and those 3 words were actually how Donald described Season 8 to a fan. I mean, if you want even more proof, I mean, just look at his Twitter bio. It says the words, "Wait, this reality is unique." Guys, I'm telling you, there is something going on here and we'll be following it very closely. But while this so-called last reality is going to be an amazing theme for Season 8, not a single person is talking about how Kevin the Cube eliminated millions of people during the event. So it feels like every live event we're doing one task or trying to complete another, and that's been the theme Epic Games has been setting. Every live event will be different and something new will always be introduced. Which brings us to one of the weirdest secrets on the list, and that's the Kevin the Cube death counter. And no, I'm not joking. If you remember when the first Kevin appeared, before we go to touch him and turn him into the blue Kevin Blevin, he would actually shock and kill players. And well, it turns out Kevin is the most cracked Fortnite player of all time, because this man killed 3.6 million players during the event, which is just nuts when you think about it. But the only thing worse than dying to Kevin during the event would be the game glitching out and almost breaking, and that's exactly what happened with a ton of players. No joke, here are the worst of the worst SKYFIRE live event glitches. We all know it wouldn't be a Fortnite live event without at least a couple of bugs. I mean, you guys remember that Ariana event bug where players would go into hyperspeed when dancing? Well, yeah, they never fixed it, so if you emoted with friends, this would happen. There was also a huge bug with the pre-lobby before the event. If you entered the shooting range in the basement, there was no possible way to get back out. I'm not even joking, you would have to sit underground in the basement the entire time waiting for the event to start. Now luckily, players who had this happen were still abducted and able to enjoy the event. So, good job Epic, at least, they didn't have their whole live event ruined. But the Fortnite Island is in absolute peril, as the consequences of blowing up an alien megaship will hit us as we enter the new season. I think it's safe to say that Season 8 will enter with an absolute bang. But there's still so many things that we should be paying attention to that weren't really touched upon in the live event. The sisters, Jenno, Agent Jones, and the Foundation are still major story keys that it seems like everyone forgot about. Will we get revenge on Dr. Sloan for locking us in the mothership with all of her bombs? What effect will the massive amount of cubes on the island have? And what will happen to the 0 point in Season 8? Find out in our next video. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.